Good day everyone! So today, let's talk about the Earth's location, the latitude and longitude. But before that, let us first have our learning objectives. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to first, define the latitude and longitude. Second, identify the key lines of latitude and longitude. Third, explain how latitude and longitude are used in our daily life. So now, let's talk about latitude.
Latitude are lines that run from west to east, and equator is the middle line. Equator runs in the center of the Earth and divides the Earth into two, the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere.
Latitude are measured in degrees and the equator is marked at 0 degrees. Latitude in north of the equator go up in numbers from 1 to 90 degrees until they reach North Pole. And latitude in south of the equator go down in negative numbers until they reach negative 90 degrees, which is called the South Pole. Some other important latitudes are the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn, also called as the tropics, and the Arctic Circle and Antarctic Circle, as also called as polar circles.
These latitudes are important because they define different climate around the world and how much sunlight its zones gets. The tropic areas gets the most sunlight and it is called as the tropical zone. Climate in many parts in here tends to be warm and humid with lots of rain. The areas between the tropic and the polar circles is called the temperate zone, when you can generally experience all four seasons during the year. The area beyond the polar circles is the polar zone, which gets the least direct sunlight and is generally cold and full of ice and snow.
And now, let's talk about longitude.
Longitude are imaginary lines that all start at one pole. They move away from each other until they meet to the equator, and they start closing in the end and they meet again at the other pole. The central longitude is called the prime meridian. These lines divides the Earth into the western hemisphere and the eastern hemisphere, like the equator. The prime meridian mark at 0 degrees. Longitude in the east of the prime meridian go up in numbers 280 degrees east, and longitude west of the prime meridian go down as negative numbers to negative 180 degrees. Lines of the longitude are time zones. As Earth rotates on its axis, only one half of the Earth faces the Sun at any given time. So if it's nighttime in the other hemisphere, then the other side will be daytime. This means that people in different parts of the world live in different time zones. To tell the time difference of the different parts of the world, you have to count the numbers of the longitude degrees between them. Every 15 degrees is at 1 hour time difference. So places like Chicago and New York, which is around 15 degrees apart, have the time zones of 1 hour apart. So when it is 2 p.m. in New York, then it is 1 p.m. in Chicago. London is about 75 away from New York, and sure enough, its time zone is 5 hours ahead of New York. The prime meridian marks the base time zone, which is called the Greenwich Mean Time or the GMT. All their time zones are measured relative to the GMT.
Okay, now, let's use the latitude and longitude to locate places on the map. The latitude and longitude position on any place on Earth is called coordinates, with the latitude shown first and the longitude shown second. So if I ask you to locate a place on Earth with the coordinates of 30 and 31, you will find the latitude at 30 degrees and a longitude at 31 degrees. And where these two lines meet is our mystery place, the Great Pyramid of Giza. To look for another mystery place with the coordinates of -3 and -59, you would look for the latitude of -3 and a longitude line at -59 degrees. Where these two lines meet, you will find our mystery place, the Amazon rainforest. As you can see, each place on Earth has its own unique set of coordinates made up of latitude and longitude. And if you don't know the place's coordinates, you can find it on a map. And now you know all about latitude, longitude, and coordinates. It's time for us to have our short quiz to assess whether you've learned something with our discussion.